Well, as mentioned, the Vagina Monologues is going to happen in a couple of days. It's really a female empowerment through theater project, and it's a chance for women to, use their platform, use their voice to talk about relationships, relationships really with their sexuality and their own bodies. Now, we've heard about this Vagina Monologues for a long time, but for those looking on, you're going to really get to understand what it's about. Yes, there are many who might be shocked this morning. What a name! But it's a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
And to give us details, two of my favorites, they join me, the cast members, Natasha Jones. And Natasha, always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Good morning, KW. So good to see you.
Bright and early, you're here with me.
I don't know how you all do it. I don't know how you all do it, boy.
And Cecilia, you should be my co-host by now.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
we're the contract. I'll sign.
Let's make it happen. Cecilia, welcome yet again.
God, thank you.
So I've heard about this. It's not the first time I've heard this, and I remember, well, as a man, you hear it and you say, okay, interesting, and you keep it moving, but I've never really gone into full detail as to what it's about. So when did it actually start? And give us again that overview as to its purpose and grand takeaway for those in attendance.
Right. Well, I think it was like in 1994 I had read 96, that Eve Ensler interviewed hundreds of women, maybe even thousands.
Well,
and it was about 200, they said. But women all over America and the world to get these stories about women and how they deal with their body and their sexualities. And it's amazing that from that comes all these other stories, because there's stories of birth, stories of loss, stories of longing, stories of, of desire, of joy, of laughter, sorrow, all comes from sexuality and talking about this
very taboo
part of your body.
Sort of
taboo
conversation. But
it's still taboo in this 2024, you feel?
Yeah, because when we were thinking of when we were doing the voiceovers, the radio ads, there were some stations where I don't know if we could say the word vagina like this, but eventually they realized we didn't talk about it in a salacious way. It was very it was in a not in a clinical but in a real way, because a lot of our spirit emanates from there. When you're telling your you're telling somebody you're not sending your daughter by a friend's house to sleep over, it's because you're afraid that something may happen to her. Like, this has always been the drawing of a woman for some reason, and it's we would like to be seen beyond that. There's stories about consensual sex, non-consensual. But they're beautifully written. So Eve Ensler sat down with all these stories, and they've consolidated into these wonderful monologues. And each of us, there are 5 women in this play, and each of us carry a monologue or 2. Well, I'm just doing one, but most people are doing...
She have other parts in it as well, don't worry.
I was doing one.
She was doing one.
So they're doing more, 2 monologues, and then we have a lot of group pieces.
Which is, in the group pieces is where we can interject our local flavor.
Excellent.
Because the monologues, we are keeping them as they are written in their form. Because as Natasha says, they're beautifully written. Some of them as poetry, some of them as stories. And in between, they are wonderful interactive pieces with the 5 women, which is where we could put in our local slangs and our local flavor in it.
Yeah.
Based on the past experience of this production, who's in attendance really? Is it predominantly women, or you see a sprinkle of men inside there too?
It's predominantly women. I haven't done it. Natasha and I were both coincidentally supposed to be in the first one. Mervyn did this before in 2004 in Trinidad.
Because I remember
Because there was a
before.
big movement in that time, we call it VD, which was against violence against women. And Eve Ensler remounted it, and countries all over the world did it at the same time on Valentine's Day, and all proceeds went to violence against women.
Yes.
So it was remounted then, Mervyn did it. But now, it's something that is always important to revisit every so many years, because we're moving forward as women, we're changing, but you still need to keep having the conversations. Just like, how long are we going to talk about road rage and accidents?
Yeah, we were just watching the interview with Sharon Englefield on Arrival Live.
You have to keep talking about that. We have to keep talking about crime. We have to keep talking about reproductive rights. And so these are women issues that have to keep coming up, and we're bringing it back.
So it's happening at the Naprima Bowl?
Naprima Bowl on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday, the show starts at 8, on Saturday at 8, and then on Sunday at 3 p.m., which we think is really great because, you know, you can have your lunch with your family, grab your girlfriends, and come down to the Naprima Bowl. And for those of you from Port of Spain who say, oh my God, it's past the lighthouse, it's a great adventure. To me, the Naprima Bowl is one of the most beautiful theaters. It's nestled amongst all these lovely trees. It's a really lovely place.
A lovely space.
So that 3 o'clock is a good time. People head down to South, and then you get back in time to organize the family for the
No, as she said, bring the girls, it's a girls' time, but there are men who would like to hear these stories. I know there are men out there who are interested in knowing more about their companions, their sisters, their family, and
how we feel about our sexuality.
I think
you're going to say something, Jay.
No, go ahead.
But what I'm thinking for
pondering.
us, there are a lot of things that women have always felt insecure about in terms of our body, and these are highlighted. But hopefully at the end of this, because we are so open and we talk so freely about it, that we are feeling a sense of empowerment and self-awareness and just come out feeling great about ourselves.
And you'd be amazed how many now women tell you their stories, because hearing someone else's story encourages you to think about your journey and your story and say, oh yeah, I remember when I had my child, or my sexual experience, or my whatever, bad or good.
Yeah.
What's the spectrum of emotions? Because that was thinking about in terms of the audience, because I'm thinking here, yes, they will have moments of laughter inside there, I'm sure. Big laughter.
Big.
But what are some of the other emotions you'll feel?
There would be there are places that you really want to burst into tears.
Some serious? It gets that intense?
Very intense.
Yeah. Okay.
There are parts where they're really enlightening to all of us, you know. There are parts that really get us very angry. One of the things that still anger me is female genital mutilation. When Eve Ensler had written this in 1996, at that point there were 132 million women who have been mutilated. And now at 2024, the latest thing was 430-something million people. So it increases, and so places like Gambia was trying to overthrow the abolition of genital mutilation up until July, and they weren't able to overturn it, thankfully. But there are a lot of religions that say, well, should be our right to be able to do this to our girls. But it really, it's painful that men see us as just these objects. And what this does is gives us more awareness. I don't want to say ammunition, but more awareness about ourselves.
Through the awareness, you get the empowerment. It really does.
And hopefully men do see that as well.
As we wrap things up this morning, where can we get tickets? I know obviously you said Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Naprima Bowl, but where's the box office and what's the cost?
You can get tickets at Naprima Bowl. The box office is open every day from 12, and you can get islandetickets.com and then also Lemon Pepper in Movie Town. If you want to get your physical ticket early in town, Lemon Pepper. islandetickets.com, the cost is $300.
Cecilia, Natasha.
And it's featuring Jerry Lee David.
Right.
All Mal Gordon and Renee King, Natasha, and myself.
That's
5 women.
That was what I'm going to ask in terms of the cast.
Olimal is coming from Tobago, so we've been rehearsing with her virtually. We've seen her once, and now she'll be here, so it's going to be very exciting. Lots of fun.
Well, we call it female empowerment through theater. It's the Vagina Monologues. It happens this weekend at the Naprima Bowl, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I implore you to go out. It's up there on the screen and really be part of this great production. And it's going to be lots of takeaways, as you heard there from Natasha, for those in attendance.
Thank you so much for having us.
Really,
actually, thank you.
Pleasure.
Folks, we look forward to entertaining you, so do come out.
Yes, it's going to be great. And with that, we're going to take a short pause, and then we come to officially wrap things up for today, Monday. See you soon.